Hi, this is Raina Carrillo with Purpose and Passion. I am so excited because everybody knows, and if you don't know, I did have a show prior to Purpose and Passion called Straight from the Streets Radio. And I had an opportunity to interview two individuals that were amazing. But as you know, through life, journeys separate people for many reasons. And so I was still able to stay in contact with Miss Myeoshe Marie, which has a nonprofit called FACE. And today she's with us in the studio. Hey, girl.
Hey, Raina.
How you doing, love?
I am doing amazing. I'm so happy and so blessed to be here. And again, thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
And I'm just excited to be here with you.
Well, thank you for my flowers. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate that.
Give you your flowers while you can still smell them. That's like
right.
my new motive now.
Yes. Especially
Literally.
after Nipsey Hussle situation, that's how I feel deep inside now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I have a nonprofit called FACE. It stands for Fearless, Artistic, Charisma, and Elegance. Our mission is to help young boys and girls to become independent, fearless, and assertive, just exposing them to self-love. That way they become comfortable in their own skin without fear, but knowing that all power is within them. FACE is something God have called me to do, and it's not just a business and a nonprofit. It's actually the attributes that I had to become to be, it's still becoming. So it's something near and dear to my heart. It's my ministry. I call myself the empowerment leader because I remember once upon a time when I needed to be empowered.
Yes.
And my struggles in life, being from South Central LA, and at the time being raised by my grandparents, because my parents at the time was dealing with their own devices. And fast forward the age of 13, I was sexually assaulted, and going into high school, that allowed me to have do different things that wasn't in alignment of who I really was.
Yes, of course.
Fast forward, I say about the age of 23, giving my age away. A colleague had told me to read this book called You Can Heal Your Life by Ella Louise Hay. And I remember reading the book, and I remember light flashbacks start in my head, and that's when I started being on my journey, and that's when God came to me and said, hey, I want you to FACE is not I wanted to pursue FACE as a modeling career.
Yes.
But he was like, no, that's not what I called you to be. I want you to tell your truth. And I'm like, who's gonna listen to me? Like, who's gonna listen to me? And he was like, no, that's what it is. And ever since then, that's what I stand firm on, is FACE. And that's my motive, that's my calling, and that's who I am. I am FACE.
Well, I would like for you to tell our viewers the journey after our first original interview. Like, how has life changed? Like, bring us through until now.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. I think the last time we seen each other was in 2017.
I believe maybe
2017, 2018. God had showed me things, and he allowed people to, separate.
Yes.
And my dad always told me, what don't grow must go.
Yes, I like
so,
that.
At the time, I had a partner. We were doing a radio show, and for some reason, different alignments. And I just seen things that just wasn't righteous and upright or whatever. And I had to take a stance and say, like, dang, Lord, I really want this. But it was like that God gave me an Abraham and Isaac moment.
Ooh.
Literally.
And kind of explain a little bit about that moment of in the Bible, to the viewers, because a lot of people, some people, they say, like, oh, I'm Christian, I'm Catholic, or I read the Bible, but some of our viewers probably never even opened the book.
Right.
So I always tell people, like, when you read stories in the Bible, don't look at it as a religious aspect, but more of a relationship with God.
Absolutely.
And opening the Bible, Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I would love for you to share with the viewers about that story.
Yeah. So a little bit about it. Abraham had a son named Isaac, and God wanted him to sacrifice him. And basically just to see his faith. And Abraham the father of faith, sacrificed it. And when God seen at his heart, he didn't even take his son.
Yes.
So fast forward, that's how my situation was. God gave me a vision, a radio show called Vocal, and I have this individual in my life that's not good for me, and that can, and potentially God showed me that we were going somewhere, but when we got there, it was going to all fall down because this person's heart wasn't right. And I was just like, dang, Lord. And it's literally, he was like, well, what you want to do? He literally gave me a Abraham and Isaac moment. Okay, you can still be here. I'm gonna take you up, but it's gonna fall.
Yes.
And I literally had to, even though this is something that I wanted, it was going well. We were going somewhere. I had to literally say, you know what, Lord, I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, I give it to you. I stopped it. I let it go. I ended it, and it was heartbreaking for me because this is something, that I love. This is a vision that he literally gave to me, and then, someone that you allowed to come in. But at the same time, when he separated me, he also put other opportunities because I trusted him. And like I said, it wasn't for me. God showed me it wasn't about fame and where I was going, because eventually I'm going to go there.
Yes, of course.
Whatever. So it was really him testing me. So he tested me and I let it go or whatever. I let it go and I gave it to God, and he has brought different opportunities my way. And even a lesson learned.
Yes, of course.
It was a lesson learned that when people come in your life and want to do business with you, and also see, some people could see the light in you. Yes. And we light attractors. We attract unhealed people, healed people, opportunists, and all that. And sometimes, like you had said before, we have to use our intuition. Mm-hmm. And when we use our intuition, that be God. And sometimes we do have to let things go if it's not growing. Yes. And that's literally what I have to do. And I have done amazing things since then. I have been the chaplain of the National Congress of Black Women for 4 years. Face have been in through LA Unified School District with Mary Methune Middle School when Dr. Gail Garrett was the principal there before she retired. I was the after school program at Creed Academy. Face has done a lot of things. I was able to speak at certain occasions, Charles University. So he has done a lot of things in my life. And also right now, Face has also partnered with another nonprofit called Jaya Legacy, Just As You Are. We actually came up with a curriculum called GROWN. It stands for Generational Revolutionary Owners Winning Numbers.
Wow.
Yes. I love acronyms.
That sounds pow.
I love acronyms. You could call me the acronym queen.
Yes.
I believe that words, I have to break them down. They have to be meaningful.
Yes.
So, that's one of the things we have. It's a financial literacy program that teach about personal development, finances, and wealth. Mm-hmm. And I believe it's very important, especially in our community, because we have to teach something that we didn't know about capitalism and ownership. Oh, yes. And I teach the ownership part, because before you can own something, you have to own yourself and know who you are. And my business partner, Ashley Aldridge, she teaches the financial piece of it. Yeah. So that's something we have going on right now at Chase on Crenshaw and Vernon. We just started our second session March 21st. And it's on Mondays and Wednesdays. It's for an hour. So please come out Mondays and Wednesdays, 4 to 5:30 at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon. I also have went to USC with Dr. Eroy Saunders. Through the public safety program, and I was able to spread my wings there, even though I felt like I was a little goldfish in a big pond. But sometimes God will put you in positions where you feel like you're unqualified, but you're so qualified. So I've been able and blessed to have certain people and be in certain positions and meet people. And during the pandemic, God showed me 3 things. He showed me that my blessing was in my fears. Literally,
and I'm like, face those fears.
Yeah, you got to face those fears. And I'm like, wow, blessing in my fears. And I was going through the pandemic, and I'm like, wow. And he also showed me, everybody like, oh, I got this PPP loan. My PPP was pain, power, and purpose. Yeah. And that's literally what I'm walking in, what I'm living in, and what is coming to me. Even now, my mom just transitioned January 16th of this year, and unexpectedly, due to COVID, and that has been a life-changing thing, because it's like I wake up every morning and I can call up my mama or
Yes.
talk to my mom is something that I'm very used to, because me and my mom had a good relationship. And dealing with that, and I'm like, wow, I never experienced grief on this level.
Yes.
And I just been having honest conversations with God, and just saying like, wow, what is grief, and what is grief gonna look like for me? And he literally said grief was gonna look like for me the gratification, the ratification, and the iniquity, and the exploitation of favor.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, just seeing that and hearing that, I'm like, wow, well, how is that when I'm up and down every day? I literally feel like I'm on a roller coaster ride. And he has literally showed me love. Love has literally is healing me, is helping me process things. Near and far. I seen that I have an overwhelming of love, or overwhelming of community of friends that have reached out to me and showed me, and that my mother transitioned. She has ascended higher, and she's still here. I can still, feel her spirit. So that's my testimony. And literally 9 weeks later, after my mom transitioned, I just found out my dad cancer came back, and it came back rapidly. So now I'm I'm dealing with, I'm like, Lord, who do I grieve for? So now I'm in a situation where I had a God moment with God probably like 2 weeks ago. Like, I'm walking my dad to heaven, and I'm going to leave him there. I'm going to drop him off there. And then I'm going to walk back, and he's not coming back with me. So I'm dealing with all type of emotions, but I also understand this is my testimony to help somebody else.
And one thing I always tell people, first of all, my condolences, with your mom, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
I always tell people I don't understand because I still have my parents, but I only can imagine. When you have the definition of imagine, it's like closing your eyes and just imagining. So just to imagine, I can imagine you're going through, a lot, because that's, like I always think, God has us in like heaven, and then we're like this seed, and then we're in our mom's womb. Our mother is the carrier, right?
Absolutely.
But we still belong to God, right?
Absolutely.
And our mother's the carrier, and then we have our father, and then we have this bond and relationship on earth. So these are our earthly parents, right?
Absolutely.
And as they raise us, we have all these emotions, good, bad, and beyond, right? And then it's a time where we know it's a cycle of life. We are here to do our purpose on earth, and then some of us don't live out our purpose. You know what I mean? We just pass away. Some of us live out our purpose, and then we pass away, right? And how I look at it is this, like in a scenario, is once our parents transition to the other side, it hurts because we won't physically see them. We won't physically, hear their voice in our mind, when we're answering, picking up the phone. But when it's our time to transition, we will all see our loved ones on the other side. And that's what I tell everyone, and that's what keeps me going. And I love the fact that you were saying, like, I'm going to walk him to heaven, and I feel that way with my great-grandfather. My great-grandfather has passed, for years. And we used to take him to the train station on Alameda so he can go to Louisiana. And so when he passed, that's what I put in my mind. I put him on the train because he's going to Louisiana, and he's just not back yet. And it makes me feel comfortable, which I know that he's passed away. And I would just say, death is hard to talk about. People fear it. I don't anymore. Like I tell God all the time, like, I have 5 beautiful children, and I would not want to pass away at a young age, because I want all my kids to know that they have me, because I feel in my heart like I'm the only one that could take care of them the way I see fit. And then on top of that, Franco is autistic. So I want to see my son grow older. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see him grow, and I want to be his cheerleader and his support system as my other kids grow and do their life, whether they go to college, start a business, get married, have children. But by the time I cross over in my hundreds, because I already said I'm gonna be with a diaper on.
I know that's right.
And and I'm gonna be walking, and I'm gonna be talking. I'm gonna be one of those women that's gonna be old on the dance floor.
I
like,
know that's
whose
right.
grandma is that? It's like, it's me, baby, it's me. Like, I picture myself like still walking and talking and cutting the rug at a family party.
Absolutely.
And but I tell God that, I said, please, don't take me early.
Yeah.
Because I have so much responsibilities, and my children mean the world to me. And I want to live to see my great-grandchildren and my great-great-grandchildren.
Absolutely.
And so, when I think about, what you're going through, one day I'm going to have to experience that with my mom and my father.
Yeah.
And my mother's the backbone to the family. And to me, she's the rock that I cling
Absolutely.
to. That Sade song,
Yeah.
that is like my mom.
I was just listening to that.
Yes, yeah. So that's my mom. She's the rock that I cling to. So I always tell God, I'm running for mayor. Get me that win, so then I can be prosperous to give back to my mom before she leaves this earth, because I want to do so much for her. I want to take her to Canada. Mm-hmm. She was like, let's go to Quebec and find our ancestors. Let's go find them, And I want to go to New York, and I want to take my mom with me to New York, because I've never been there. There's so many things I want to do with her right now, because she has always been an amazing mother.
Yeah.
Like, even though I was a teenager and like, mentality,
Yeah.
I think we all had those moments, and I'm guilty of saying that, being angry with my mom. I hate you, and my pillow, I can't stand you. I hope you die. That kind of thing,
Right.
I was one of those kids that did that. And then one day, I remember I was in church, and they were talking about that, like, the kids, and I was like, ooh, that's me. She's talking about me. And then she was like, but it's okay. We all go through emotions. We're human. But you need to go ahead and repent to the Lord.
Yeah.
Because if that day happens, you're going to feel this guilt that's going to just hold you in hostage spiritually.
Yeah.
And so I was quick to be like, God, forgive me. I didn't really mean that. I was just angry, but I would never say that. I'm so sorry, God, And then that was it. We grew, because my mom had me when she was 19. So she was my mom, but we were like friends.
Wow, that's
you know what I mean?
Right.
But she always told me, like, I'm your friend, but I'm not your friend. I'm your mama. just
Right.
remember that, Okay, Mom,
Right.
So she's the rock. And so one day I would have to, experience that journey. And at least I know I have people in my circle that have experienced that. So then this is who I can call and talk to.
Absolutely. It's funny you say that, because now, since my mom has transitioned, you don't realize, I know my mom, amazing mother, to the point where she was like a counselor. People would come to her, and talk to her and feel comfortable when they can't even go to their own parents. And I never really noticed it until she has transitioned. Like, wow, my mom was amazing. And it's just like, wow, the value. Like, I had a dope mom.
Yeah.
Like, that was my homegirl. My mom was a very non-judgmental person, if you know what I mean. Like, I could be sitting there like, this happened and this happened, but even sometimes when my mom seen me hurt or frustrated in certain situations, one thing she always told me, don't worry about it. Don't, I'd be like, I'm going to cuss them out. I'm going to do this.
Yes.
My mom always told me, don't worry about it. It's going to be all right. She always told me, let it go, Myeoshe, and be the bigger person. I used to always say, like, why you always want me to be the bigger person? This person done did this, but she always told me that. And that's how it kept me strong, because in situations, even with my mom, when I see people ridicule her, she was always the bigger person. And I believe that's why I am sitting here today, and I ain't lost, my mind, because my mom's strength. My mom was a very strong woman. She done dealt with the street life, being out on the streets, growing up, and even having triple bypass surgery and being on dialysis for 8 years and finally getting a kidney. Like, my mom had been a very, a big testimony and light to, it's so, I'm at peace with everything.
And that's a blessing.
I'm at peace with it, and I
Yes.
know my mom is at peace, and I know she happy. I still hear her, you
She's
know.
like, look at you, baby, my
Yeah.
baby on Purpose and Passion in Beverly Hills.
I still hear her. I still feel her energy.
That's
And
right.
what I didn't do with my mom in her transition, I'm able to do with my dad. I'm able to talk to my dad. We're able to have real conversations. I'm like, Dad, when you leave, I want you to come, I want you to come visit me. I want you to come to my dreams. And I said, what you gonna come to me as? And he'd be like, hummingbirds. And that's my favorite.
Yes, mine's is butterfly and hummingbird.
Mine is too.
Yes,
so when I see
those
butterflies,
two.
I'll be like, hey, mama. So now I'm able to have that.
Dragonflies too. I like those three. I don't know what
Okay.
it is, yes.
I'm able to have real conversations with my dad that I wasn't able to have
your
with my
mom.
mom. So it's like a bittersweet moment. And it's like I'm going to have two profound, when it is time for my dad to transition, I'm going to have both their strength because they're very strong people. My dad is from Louisiana, the 10th Ward.
Oh, yeah.
And like he told me the other day, Mickey, I ain't doing nothing. He called me Mickey. He's like, Mickey, I'm not doing anything but transferring my spirit and my gifts over to you.
Yes.
And so
beautiful.
I'm really blessed because I understand I'm going to have two amazing angels that's going to continue to watch me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's a win-win situation for me because regardless, I'm never going to be alone. And I know that God got my back for sure.
Yes.
Like I said, I would not be
He
sitting
says that
here
in the
today.
Bible. He tells us all the
For
time,
real.
like, you're not alone. I'm here. God is here. We're never alone. He doesn't let us walk in a valley of the darkness by ourselves.
Absolutely. And I'm glad I was able to allow my parents to see things. Like I was able to get my bachelor's and my parents were both alive. I got my bachelor's in theology and ministry. And I'm going to go forward. But I was able to, for my parents, even my mom, she used to tell me she was proud of me, and my dad. So I'm blessed, and they still going to be with me, and they going to be doing magic, in the spirit for me to help me. So I'm truly blessed. I do have my days. I'm not going to lie. I have my days where, Lord, I don't want to talk to you today, but all is well with my soul.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All is well.
Well, I'm happy to have this part too, because you think about like what happened during that big gap, and I have so many people that I'm reaching out back to interview because I feel like at that time I had a studio, but there was no cameras.
Wow.
It was like a box office with just the radio, and it was online. That was it. You know what I mean? And these individuals like yourself came to the studio to share your story. Most people could have been like, no, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But everybody was like, yes, like, I want to come out and speak.
Right.
Grateful. And then people were like, what happened, Raina? I said, oh God, the building, COVID. And they're like, well, why don't you do it online? I said, I'm not even techie. I don't even know how to... I don't even know how to do a Zoom interview. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a hot mess. And so I said, well, you know what? When God see fits, the opportunity will come.
I'm trying to
and
tell
then my
you.
mentor, Candace Barr,
Shout out to Candace Barr.
Yeah, shout out to Candace Barr. I'm like, luxemediastudios. It's like, wow, like she had a vision. I remember talking about this when it didn't even exist, but it existed in her mind and she manifested. And then boom, here it goes. God blessed her with individuals to give her this opportunity to make her dream a reality. Beautiful. And then now she's giving the opportunity, paying it forward, and giving me the opportunity to be here. Like I wake up every day leaving Inglewood, like I'm going to Beverly Hills every Wednesday.
I was driving here like
energy. Yeah, it's the energy. And when you walk into the studio, it's like it's a whole other vibe.
I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. This is very beautiful. And on top of that, to have somebody that I know that is running for mayor and will be the winner. We're going to speak that into existence.
Yes.
It's amazing. And to know your story and to know you have a heart for the people. Yeah, for the people. It's all about the people.
Yeah, it is. It is. A lot of people, some, through the journey, some people will, trip out. Like, I just remember, like, people saying, like, what made you want to become, mayor of Inglewood? What made you even think that? And then, I got, another comment saying, like, when are you going to be mayor of Inglewood? You've been talking about this forever, and I haven't seen anything. You know, and then I have people that, you know, that would say something so ignorant because of out of anger, and say like, you're not going to be the mayor of Inglewood, you're going to be Monica Lewinsky, you know? And it's like, what? But when I thought about all these negative comments, I didn't take offense to where I held anger with the individual, but what I did was reflect and say, look at their lives. Now I know why they are saying stuff like this, because look at their life. They don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. So I can't be mad at them because they're dealing with their own stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's an interesting kind of thing. But me running for mayor has been a goal, a vision. You know, I spoke it out my mouth at the age of 15.
Wow.
I truly believe now, because obviously I got baptized as an adult, and my pastor told me, like, January 10, 1979, when your mom birthed you, she birthed the mayor of Inglewood.
Wow, praise God.
And that was a powerful thing that really, like, wow, like, my purpose is to run for office.
Right. I remember meeting you, like I said, in 2017, 2018, and I remember you telling me you was going to run for mayor, and here we are.
Yes.
And here we are. So it's such a blessing, and the power of the tongue is powerful.
Oh, yeah, it says that in
this
the
is
Bible.
life and death right here.
Yes,
so, you know, for you to speak that, and here we are years later for it to be
doing
manifest.
Taking
and, you know,
action.
Taking
like,
action.
Oh my
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So
I appreciate
if you need anything from
you
me,
know I'm going to need you. I'm going to tell you.
I'm right here by your side.
I've been hustling on that phone like, you know, I'm running for mayor. Can you contribute $250? And they're like, I ain't got $250, but I got $100 today. I'll take it. I said, we're fundraising all the way till October, so you can work with that $100 another time. You can cut it in half, 25, 25, 25, 25 till, you know, till we hit that goal. And it's so funny because it's like when you're making the calls, it's so hard for a person like me. And it's not an ego. It's just like, I don't like asking for help or money, right? You're like, that's even worse, money. But then I had to learn to just realize that God put me on this earth for this major role.
Yeah.
And you cannot be embarrassed or feel weird asking for something you need in order to make this vision real.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn that, like, okay, Raina, it's okay, just ask. What's the worst going to say? No? Or I don't have money, you know, but I can do phone calls for you.
Yeah.
You know, I can go walk the streets and pass out flyers with you.
Right.
That kind of thing, you know. Or I don't have the money today, but I have 5 friends I can text this flyer and the thing and say, hey, donate, you know.
Absolutely.
So being proactive is not hard, but the asking part is like, oh gosh, every time. And I stand up doing it, you know, because I'm like,
I understand.
I start slouching. I'm like, hi, this is Raina, like a little kid. I have to stand up and say, hi, this is Raina, Myeoshe. Oh my God, you know I'm running for mayor of Inglewood. I need your support, you know. You'll support me, right? Like a script. Oh my God. So it's an interesting journey, and I'm really excited. And I'm just grateful that I got part 2 with you, because look at where we're at now.
Man, look
you
at
know
where
what I
we
mean?
at.
Like, what a blessing. There's, you know, there's truly a blessing in our stories. You know,
Absolutely.
You're very successful, you know, in your own right, and I'm
Yes.
successful in my own right. And I just can't wait till November comes when I win the election.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to bring you into the school districts.
Absolutely. We're going to be right there.
Because our
empowering.
youth need those after school programs.
Absolutely.
I truly believe that, because I was an at-risk youth at Morningside High School in Inglewood, and Peace Colors changed my mentality. Not to the full extent, because I was still, you know, kind of like trying to make a change, but still love the gang life, you know, just doing this. But it still helped, because in the long run,
Absolutely.
the outcome was mindset changed.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, I need to do gang intervention and build unity in the community. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so here I am, freaking running for mayor of Inglewood, man.
I love it. I really do. I love it. I love the fact that how God can take the most unqualified people, you know, like you and I, and then just refine us. And sometimes the refining part is not beautiful. And that's what people don't understand. People be thinking, oh, you got here. Like, no. trial
Yeah,
and tribulation, literally, even what I'm going through.
Yes.
You know what I mean? People thinking like, wow, but it's like, no, I understand my purpose. I understand my journey. And heavy is the head who wears the crown, you know, and my testimony going to be able to uplift and inspire someone else to keep going and understand, you know, what it's like. If she can do it, I can do it. And it's absolutely what it's all about.
That's how I feel too. I'm like, you're going to see Raina as mayor. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it. And that's what the purging is all about, and the refining and the pressure.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes we can't see it on the other side, but it's so rewarding and it's so beautiful. And even me, I'm like, Lord, what are you doing? Like, you know, what are you doing? Really, Mom, Dad, really? And but I know, even though I don't feel like it every day, I know He has something, you know.
Yeah, we all have a purpose on the other side too.
Greater than I can ever, you know, even ask or imagine. So I'm just standing still and watching the salvation of the Lord, literally. And I'm just watching you, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe it. And it's just amazing. It's just beautiful how life turns out. And to see you years later.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Still beautiful, still fine.
Aw, thank you.
She said she got 5 kids. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, I'm like, 5 kids. 2 sets of twins and a daughter. My God. Lord. My goodness. But thank you for being on Purpose and Passion. And before we close out, I have 2 questions to ask you. Do you know your purpose?
Yes. My purpose is to inspire, my purpose to empower, and my purpose is to tell my truth. And my truth is to uplift. And my truth is to give love, because love is the greatest. I'm here to give love, spread love, because love is what I am, love is what I give, love is what I receive. And that's a quote from Ayana. But that's my purpose, is to give love and tell my truth. And when I speak with power.
Yes. And then last but not least, what is your passion?
Oh, my passion is faith.
Ooh, I love how you said that. I love it.
My passion is faith. Literally, when I tell you, those are my attributes. When I say I am faith, I am fearless. I am artistic. I am charismatic. I am elegant. And when God gave me that, I didn't want it, but it's like when I accepted it, I've been, you know, running since 2014, since He gave it to me. And even in His word, He said, I send a messenger before my face. So I am literally the face of God, because I am His child.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Well, thank you. Well, viewers, I hope you were definitely inspired today with Myeoshe. I'm telling you, I'm so excited to just have this part 2 with her on Purpose and Passion. Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient NASET. NASET increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.